What's up, guys? All right, we have finished up the chasing in silver and we finished up the passive in silver video. So this will be the last video for the silver portion. We're going to kind of compare and analyze the stats on them and try to figure out what was working, what wasn't, and whether or not it was worth it to chase in silver. So let's jump into it. Okay, so I've picked a couple of the games that were probably the most relevant. They made the most sense to sort of analyze and rip through, and they were a pretty good indicator of everything that took place. So we're going to kind of compare these. The one here on the left is where we were chasing. The one here on the right, well, that's my right. I think that'd be the same for you. Yeah, the left is where we're chasing. The right is where it was passive. And so just kind of first thing, just sort of looking on the surface is wasn't really a big difference for me in terms of score. So I've always had this impression like I need to, chase the ball to score a lot to be effective. But a lot of times when you're chasing, you're going to where the ball is, not where it's going to be, and you spend a lot of your time sort of meaninglessly running around the field. So here, I'm sort of going to where it's going to be and getting more effective touches because I'm waiting for them to give me the ball rather than challenging and trying to take it off of somebody. Scored the same both ways, but the big impact really was on my team, really on my teammate. If you look here, Marvin had no shots in this game, or one shot rather, whereas Cosmic, when he was my teammate, he had 5 shots in this game. And, maybe didn't convert a large percentage of them, but that's probably indicative of the rank itself. But I think by me playing more passively, it was helping my teammate to play better. So together we scored a little bit more in the passive game as a team than what we did in the game where we were chasing. So one of the things that was interesting is actually when we played passively, we possessed the ball more. And I'd also argue that we had more meaningful possessions than when we were chasing, which I found to be pretty interesting. Let me find that section and I'll jump into it where they actually break down the numbers. So here you can see the actual possession percentages, and these are pretty interesting. When we were chasing like crazy, we had 53% of the possession compared to 46, and the ball was on their half 50% of the time and 49 on ours. So not really a big difference, and we possessed a little bit more, but not a ton. But look, when we play passively, we possessed almost 58% of the time compared to 42. So we possessed substantially more even though we played passive. We kind of waited for them to throw it away and give it to us. And then we ended up spending way more time on their half of the field than on ours. So based on these numbers, it looks like you should wait, let them pass the ball to you rather than sitting there chasing it. And then this is the boost amounts used. We used a lot more boost as a team when we were chasing, and we used less. We were more efficient when we weren't chasing, so we're kind of picking our spots. We also spent a lot more time with no boost. We spent very, very little time with no boost when we were playing passively. So we were getting ourselves in less compromised positions where we weren't overcommitting, we weren't trying to run back without boost. So it was a lot safer style to play. And then if you compare like our boost usage per minute based on players, I used an absolute ton of boost when I was chasing. I still use a lot more than everyone else, and that's just a component of me naturally being a higher rank, so I keep my speed up more. And you'll be able to see that in another stat. But again, we were more efficient with boost when we weren't chasing. And here I spent a lot of time with no boost because I was chasing. And here I spent almost no time with no boost when I wasn't chasing. So that right there just puts you in a much better position to not get countered and to be able to push forward when you need to. And so this is something else I wanted to show is look at how often I collect small pads compared to everyone else at the rank, both while I was chasing and wasn't. And that's just a component of being a little bit higher rank, having a little more experience and knowing where those pads are. But they're a big resource that you should utilize to help keep your boost amounts up. And then down here you can look at these two charts, and they will go through boost per minute, our averages and whatnot. And again, the big thing that I took from this is we were a lot more efficient and needed less boost when we were playing passively than when we were chasing, which again makes you a lot less susceptible to getting counterattacked. And I found this to be pretty interesting as well, is take a look at the amount of time I spend in each area of the field. So I'm not spending that much more time in my own offensive half when I'm chasing compared to when I'm playing passively. 44%. I'm actually spending more time in the offensive half when I play passively. That's pretty surprising. So again, that's getting more meaningful possessions rather than going in for 50-50s and challenges where you're not going to get the ball for free. You play passively and play off their mistakes, wait for them to give you the ball, and then you spend more time in the opponent's half. And these are some of the last stats I'll go through here, and then we'll kind of do a little overview on this. But when I'm chasing, I was on average going 65% of my max speed. When I played passively, I was on average going 65% of my max speed. It was literally identical, and I think there's something important here is passive doesn't mean slow. So if you watch, even when I'm playing passively, I'm keeping my movement up. That enables me to get to the ball quicker than everyone else who's standing still because I already have momentum. So when I want to go to a ball, I already have speed and I'm able to get there before them. So even when you're playing passively, you still need to keep your speed up. I think that's something that's really important. Then as I look at these last stats, I power slide a lot more than everyone else is. And I guess it's not something I don't even think about really at this point, but I guess as you tend to get more experience and you rank up, you spend a little bit more time power sliding. And that probably helps me keep my speed up as well. Yeah, when you look at the power slide count down here, I'm power sliding substantially more than anyone else. And again, that's not something I even thought about, but I guess it's something to consider as far as keeping your movements and keeping your momentum up and being quicker to adjust and turn. I'm constantly making these small adjustments to try to go where the ball is going to be, even though I'm not really thinking about it. Okay, so my big takeaway from all this is you can be effective chasing in silver, but you're probably just as effective playing passively. But the result of you playing passively is that your teammate is going to be far more effective, so you as a team will be more effective. I think especially here in the silver rank, you're better off not overcommitting, waiting for them to make a mistake, waiting for them to give you the ball, and countering off of that because your possessions are going to be far more effective. So don't ball chase in silver. I think that's my big takeaway from this. It'll be interesting to see if that holds true for gold or if there's big differences as we move up in ranks. But I think I feel pretty confident saying that ball chasing like a madman is not the answer in silver. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks.